Hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager, here for our October 2013 monthly update. Part of our news this past month in September and what we'll be continuing on through, I guess, the coming months is the introduction of two assistant city managers to the city of Goldsboro. One, you know, Randy Guthrie has been our development services director for a while, and then we have a new hire, Angel Wright Lanier, who has moved to Goldsboro. Both are excited to be in their new roles. And just a point of clarification, what I have done is retitled a position, not created a new one, and done some reorganization within the city structure that I think will benefit the community for years to come. So you'll see more from us, but if you'd like us to come out and speak, we are really trying to get out in front of civic clubs and church groups and anybody who would want to have a speaker. So please don't hesitate to contact me and we'll be happy to come out and speak with you or your group. Our City Council and County Commissioners held a joint meeting at the end of September. Spent a couple hours here at City Hall just discussing issues of concern between both the city and the county. And I think those meetings are always productive for a couple reasons. To put our elected officials together in a room and let them share their viewpoints on varying topics, I think is always a benefit. Didn't make any decisions at that meeting, but had a lot of good discussion on a number of topics with some items to follow up from both boards or from the managers in the months coming forward. So again, I do want to say thank you to our elected officials for agreeing to do that. I know it takes a lot of their time and energy, but well worth it for the community, and I think a good opportunity for them to, again, interact formally with one another. We've talked some about a recreation bond referendum, and our council is still having that debate through the month of October, so I don't have a final decision to share with you on that. But we have talked about the W.A. Foster Community Center being a $4 to $6 million project. We've talked about a multi-sports complex being another $6 million project. And we know we have tremendous needs at our Herman Park Center, which is an older facility that just really needs some renovation work, and we're working on estimates to that. But I'm sure that, again, we'll be in a $4 to $6 million range if we add a gymnasium, and maybe something less than that if we just do renovation work of the current facility. But those three facilities, or those three projects, I think all are important to the community and much needed. And then we've also had a tremendous amount of interest in greenways and part of the Go Wayne Go initiative, and even before that, of just providing opportunities within our community to be more physically fit and active and have community amenities for those that come to visit or to move here. And so when you talk about all of those, we turn into $18.9 million, and that's the number we've discussed with City Council for the past several months. That's a number they'll hear from our bond consultants going forward, and we are having presentations, so if you have an interest in that, presentations to the City Council during the month of October, and then they'll make a decision sometime after that. Should they decide to move forward, we will come out with a much more program presentation to describe what we're doing in detail, and probably begin those the first of the year so that we can work toward a May vote. So if you have an opinion or need more information, please don't hesitate to contact us or talk with your elected officials along that line as well. We'll also continue to have updates on our Tiger Grant Award. We continue to find out a little more information and have a little better idea of how we're headed and moving forward with that. The City Council did approve. We had under design 2 blocks of our Center Street project. The Tiger Grant project included 3 blocks of our Center Street project. So we are moving forward with our engineering work on all 3 blocks. Council awarded, or at least authorized us to spend those funds for engineering work associated with all 3 blocks of downtown, with the idea that we would be bidding those projects late this year and then awarding them so that they can go to construction in early 2014, whether that's a January, February timeframe, but early next year that the Center Street project would be under construction. The remainder of that, we're working very hard with our design consultant, who is almost complete with the design of our Gateway Bus Transfer Center and doing the final preparations on those plans and the streetscape works associated with that in Union Station. But really an exciting time for downtown and the city of Goldsboro. And downtowns really do matter. Whether you visit downtown or not, a strong city core is important for development throughout the community. And we've heard that a number of times where people either made an investment or in some cases didn't make an investment because of the way our downtown looked. And so please come visit our downtown. You'll have more opportunity for that, but these projects really will be good for the community as a whole, not just downtown Goldsboro, but all of Goldsboro and Wayne County, or at least I believe they will. And again, the Tiger Grant is a $10 million grant. It takes a little over $3 million match, so we'll have about a little over $13 million project that you ought to see under construction within the next 6 to 12 months, and now hopefully complete in the next 1 to 3 years. But a lot going on in that time frame. Community appearance, I will tell you, the council has kept that as a top priority for them for a lot of years, whether it's demoing houses that have been in need of that for some time, or whether it is cutting high grass or trying to correct street signs, or just visual improvements of things that as you drive through the community and really don't look as good as they could. And one of those things that many of us have probably just grown accustomed to is the fence along Highway 70, the controlled access chain link fence. In some places it's newer than others. In some places it has perhaps vegetation growing in it, some of it on purpose, some of it volunteer. In some places it has no vegetation. Sometimes the grass is cut on one side of the fence and it won't be cut on the other side, so you have reasonable height grass on one side, very high grass on the other side. And I think for us living here, that just blends into the background and you really don't notice it. I will credit our new Public Works Director, Jose Martinez. He said, he really thought the community had a lot to offer. He just didn't understand why US 70 looked so bad, and in particular that fencing along US 70. And he said he'd like to contact DOT to see if he could remove that fence. My comment to Jose was be happy for him to contact DOT. I didn't think they would let us remove it, but they have. He has gotten permission from DOT, and our mayor and council have approved a pilot section, and we are removing this fence. It's been removed the first week of October between Wayne Memorial and William Street. So the chain link fence there that we can remove will be removed very early in October. And what you'll see in the end are some very short concrete monuments that most of us won't notice as we drive down US 70, but will then allow the grass to be cut at all the same time and provide a much more visually pleasing appearance to our community. And so if that part is successful, our intent would be to go all the way through the community along US 70 and remove that everywhere there is the frontage road and business or commercial interest, not where people have residential homes, because we're not trying to open it up to that area yet, but we would work through any area that is non-residential that has that controlled access fencing and then a frontage road behind that. So more to come on that, but we'd certainly appreciate hearing your comments or concerns with that initial phase so that we can incorporate those in any future work that might be done. I'd also like to talk very briefly about a process that's been going on between Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, the city, the county over the last several months. And it's referred to as a P4 initiative. And I've shared that with the mayor and council a couple of times, but it's public-private partnerships. And there was some legislation change at the federal level that would allow military installations to contract with city or counties throughout going around their normal procurement process for things that are win-win. Whether it's street maintenance, whether it's ambulance service, whether it's building maintenance, whether it's whatever you can imagine that the base would do on their facility and the city or county would do in our realms, is there a way that working together we can do it better for the federal government, for the local governments, and for the community as a whole? And those meetings have been very productive. We've started with a list of probably 20 or 30 ideas. We've narrowed that down to 4 or 5 ideas, and we're still working through that process. And I think something will come of that. But even if it doesn't, we have really generated a lot of relationships and really looking for ways to take our resources and maximize them from both sides. And not to be the community supporting the base or the base supporting the community, but again, a win-win for both. And I hope you'll hear more from us on that in the coming months, whether that's a November, December timeframe. But that process is wrapping up, at least the scheduled or program part. But you'll see more coming from us to talk about the partnership going forward and the opportunities that exist. And it's been a very interesting process and very exciting, but I think at least for the city and for myself through the involvement of that. So more to come on that P4 initiative, but you'll hear us discuss that more in the coming months. Always a lot of events to do. People wonder what is there to do in Goldsboro. There seems to be activities most days if you're looking for them. So if you'll come to the city's website, events throughout the community that we're aware of, we're trying to make sure they're on the website and available. If you're a friend on Facebook, that gets a notification as they're out there. 2 things I would like to mention just because they're a little unique, and although I'm not sure with Halloween coming what will be at the end of the month, but it's early October. One, this will air probably just after our bicycling event has occurred, but if you happen to see have seen a lot of bicyclists running through town the afternoon of October 3rd, that Thursday, and then departing Friday morning, October 4th, that is part of a Mountains to Sea bicycling group that is an annual event of moving through North Carolina and picking different stops along the way. And this time Goldsboro is one of their stops on the way to the coast. And so they will be rolling in here, over 1,000 bicyclists. Herman Park Center will be their focal point, and then they will be rolling out Friday morning onto their next destination as they head toward the coast. But that is really a neat event in trying to, one, showcase Goldsboro, generate more economic development for us, and we're told the bicyclists generally get out and will be shuttled around to our downtown, to our hotels, and to our shopping areas so that they can experience and have an impact in Goldsboro as well. A second event that's coming, and we're working hard, if you hadn't noticed, on the Herman Park tennis courts. They should be completed in early October, resurfacing and new lighting. Again, that project's been ongoing for a few months now, to be completed very soon, before October 10th, by the way. But what's coming October 10th is a USTA tennis tournament. Almost 400 tennis players are coming to Wayne County and will be playing throughout the county, with their primary focus being at Herman Park Center. So the Shriners Fish Fry event is also going on that Friday during that event, so there will be a tremendous amount of activity at Herman Park Center beginning October 10th through the 13th, and that Friday of the Shriners Fish Fry. I certainly hope you'll come out and support the Shriners, as well as walk over and just watch some of the tennis that is played here. A very good event for our community, and I applaud those who helped to draw that USTA tournament here. It means good hotel stays, good restaurant meals, and or sales, and some other things for our community, bringing outside people and some of that tourism-related economic impact that we have talked about and continue to see and hope to grow here in Goldsboro and Wayne County. I did speak to a group of 8th graders, and just for clarification, the question on the tennis tournament was, would Serena Williams be playing in this tournament? And my response to that 8th grade someone, it's a great tournament, it's not quite that big a tournament. So no Serena Williams in this tournament, but it should be a lot of good tennis play for those that have an interest, and we'd certainly encourage you to come out and be part of that and see what's going on. With that, we are always here to serve and meet your needs, so please don't hesitate to call on us if we can help with anything. The city's phone number will get you into the manager's office that's shown here. Anytime you can call, day or night. If we're not there, you can leave a message. And then always our city website, there's a citizen request tab. That'll send an email message into the manager's office, and we will give you a response or get an action to that. So again, thank you for taking the time to listen, and please call on us if we can help with anything.